Hey guys, Marsegan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so obviously I've been doing a lot of videos showing off the new heroes units, but I have had quite a lot of requests, and obviously it's something that I've wanted to do anyway, to show off the Super Saiyan God Trunks under a 200% leader skill, because obviously he was the headline unit from last year, who was a full 170 lead with 4 key for the Dragon Ball Heroes team. He raises attack and defense for 1 turn on super. He can seal as well. Now, this guy is basically locked to the Heroes team, which was people's major complaint about him last time. Attack and defense 30% per Heroes ally on the team. That's all he gets for his base attack and defense. So, on a full Heroes team, including the friend, that's 7 units. That means he gets 210% attack and defense at the start of the turn. And then he's getting 100% attack and defense and a high chance to crit when performing a super attack. He also changes orbs to rainbow if there's a full Dragon Ball Heroes rotation. So obviously this isn't a great rotation for him. We've got 3 links active, no support, because obviously Vegeta's not giving any support because there's no Goku on the rotation. But that does mean post super, he's still going to be at like 300k defense on this turn. Now, obviously that's not anything super impressive when it comes to difficult bosses in the game or anything like that, but I mean, this is not a great rotation for him. Honestly, the biggest problem with God Trunks is his link set, because if we go and look at his link partners on the Link Tool website, his best link partners are the LR Gods, who are not Heroes units, and God Goku, who is not a Heroes unit. So this is the problem that they seem to keep perpetuating for some reason with these Heroes units, like Golden Metal Cooler, where they give these units links that make sense for the character to have, but then they make the unit build, like the passive and everything, mean that they only work on teams where you can't run the units that are their best link partners, which is very strange. So God Trunks, I mean, with the pattern that they've now set in place for like the batches of units that get Easy A's and stuff, it basically means that God Trunks is going to get his Easy A in 2 years. Next year, the Hero Celebration, we should get the Easy A's for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Broly, the units that came out like at that time, which means it will then be the year after that God Trunks gets his Easy A. So we're talking about like 2024. But something I wish we would see, and they didn't do it this year with some of the units like Golden Cooler, so I don't want to hold out hope that they will. But one of the main things that I want to see them do is add in another category onto that passive, right? So make it so that his attack and defense at the start of the turn comes from Dragon Ball Heroes or Realm of Gods, for example, allies, because then we could actually run him on rotations with the LR Gods, with God Goku. The 4 links partners that he has is like the Resurrection of F Blues, God Vegeta, like some of the other Super Saiyan Blues. Like, he would fit really nicely on a Realm of Gods team, except for the fact that his passive basically makes it so that he can only be run on a Heroes team. So that is a very unfortunate part of his design, but I mean, he's hitting a 6 million attack stat here, 50% chance to crit, so obviously we do a nice bit of damage if we actually get the crit. You want to go full additional on his build, obviously, because when you have a 50% chance to crit anyway, it seems kind of pointless to give units a load of extra crit in the hidden potential system, especially when not only is he raising attack and defense on super as well, so you want to go for those additionals, right? So if you get a double super, you have the chances to get double crit, and of course you're raising your defense twice. Look at Gohan dodging that super. He wouldn't have taken a huge amount of damage because of the damage reduction, but still, I will take that. I still haven't got my rotation set up the way I want, so I do not have a good slot 1 unit on this turn. What items did I bring? Let's throw this up just so we can get to the next turn. Of course, all of these, the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s have Ki Blast super attacks, so we can't, we're not going to get past this second phase in this turn. You know what? If I was going to put the item up, I should have put Goku in slot 1. We could have got him almost fully built up on this turn if I'd done that. Oh well. It is what it is. But yeah, unfortunately, both the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s have Ki Blast super attacks, so we kind of get stuck at this phase for a little while if we're running this team. It's happened on a previous showcase, but we're only really here to see what God Trunks is going to do, so I mean, technically we could get stuck on this phase for like the whole video, and we're still going to get to see God Trunks' different attack stats and whatnot. I think we have coming up next, what will essentially be his best turn, which is with Xeno Pan and Xeno Vegeta, because it means he's on rotation with 2 units that give 40% support. Pan, I'm pretty sure Pan has Fierce Battle, which obviously Xeno Vegeta doesn't. And I think, does she have one other link that they share that Vegeta doesn't? So they have Patrol and Fierce Battle, and they have Patrol, Prepared for Battle, and Super Saiyan. So it is only Fierce Battle that he gets extra. Now, the problem is, Pan's been letting me down a lot lately when it comes to her dodging. I have built her basically as full dodge, because, you know, she doesn't really do damage. She's just there to not get hit and provide support, essentially. But I guess if I do this, what do I lose out on? So we've got 216k defense, and then if we put you there, we have 225. So we're losing out on a little bit of defense. We're losing out on Super Saiyan and Prepared for Battle. So let me see, at level 10, 15% attack from Super Saiyan. Prepared for Battle is 5% defense. So it doesn't make a huge difference, but I mean, he's got 216k at the start of the turn here, which means post-super, just from his passive, he's going up to like 400k. Then he gets the extra buff on his actual super attack effect as well. So his defense is not terrible. And Xeno Vegeta, let me do this. We're gonna see what happens. If Pan gets us killed here, then I'm gonna be very disappointed. And I guess maybe I'll jump into a different event. But oh, come on, really, Pan? Okay, good. I think this happened in a previous... I think it was the first attempt at recording the actual Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4's showcase. Pan did not dodge a super from this guy. And I can tell you from experience that she takes like 500k from his super attack. So her being on the team is kind of a liability. I don't know if when it comes to doing like the no item runs and stuff, I might use her on some of them, but she definitely could be a liability. She's one of those units that she either dodges or potentially you die. So you have to be very careful when using her. But right, Gohan can do damage on this turn, but nobody else can. Which, honestly, it's good for getting Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta built up, because he has to super attack 5 times to get fully built up. I mean, he can super attack this guy as long as he wants. He can't do any damage to him. But fortunately, Gohan coming in clutch with the additional. Ah, he didn't crit on the additional. Come on, bruh. Now, we should tank this quite nicely after a double super. Yeah, double-digit damage. Gohan, so much better defensively after he supers. And he does also raise attack and defense for 1 turn on his super attack. So, when he double supers, he's going to be tanking things very nicely. As we see here from, you know, the type disadvantage super doing double-digit damage. Just after I was saying about how the fact that Pam would take 500 and... I think she actually takes over 500k. I think I've had it once where it's connected and it's done like 550. So, yeah, Gohan coming in clutch with that extra defense buff, the 50% damage reduction. Vegeta firing super attacks off into the void here. Let's see. So, on this rotation, we still get Prepared for Battle and Super Saiyan from the Vegeta. So this rotation does work really, really well for God Trunks. The only problem is, like I say, the fact that Pan is just such a huge liability here in slot 1. But, I mean, when she does dodge, she's all good, right? Every time she dodges, she gets extra defense as well. So she's one of those units that it just really comes back to bite you if the first attack she takes, she doesn't dodge. Whereas you see there, the follow-up attacks she takes double-digit damage. So then we're looking okay. It's just one of those, you really are putting all of your eggs into one basket, I guess, is the saying, right? When you're using her and hoping that she's going to be good defensively. So I don't know how built up my Goku is yet. The one thing about Goku I will say is design. I've talked about all the Heroes units non-stop, obviously. We're just pumping out those Heroes videos. But I mean, I think people seem to be confused into thinking that I think that these units are way, way better than they are. Like, I like these units. I think they're good. I think they're fun. But they're not, like, great. They're not top-tier units. They're not, like, 2022 Dokkan Fest exclusive level units, apart from Raditz, obviously. They're definitely better than Raditz. But there's just so many, like, things that are weird about their design. Like, I think they're cool. I think they're fun to use. They're fun to play with. But, like, some aspects of their design are so weird. Like, Limit Breaker Goku is out of the 2 units, they want you to run them both together because they get all of their buffs, they get all their links, well, most of their links. So out of the 2 units, if you are going to run them as a rotation, Goku is clearly the slot 1 unit, right? He has damage reduction, but he's not really good enough to be a slot 1 unit in these more difficult events. We can't not super with Pan, can we? That's unfortunate. I really want to see the Dokkan attack with Trunks here. If I put Trunks in slot 1, we don't die to a... we won't die to a super, will we? We would take a lot of damage, but I don't think we would die. I just want to see God Trunks get the Dokkan attack, because if we do get the crit off of his passive, then he obviously will just finish her off. But... Alright, well, we could get a level 3 dodge, so we'll take that, I guess. Okay, so we'll do this, do this, do this. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, so the problems with their design, Goku's not really good enough to go in slot 1 in the harder events. When his passive is fully procced, he's much better in slot 1. But obviously that can be multiple phases like into the fight. So Goku works really well in slot 2, but then the problem is Limit Breaker Vegeta is not great in slot 1. So the way I've been kind of running the team, and I've been using it as the off rotation for this run. Look how much health she's got left. That's hilarious. Is that you run Gohan in slot 1, Goku in slot 2, and then you run a friend Vegeta instead of a friend Goku, and you have both the Vegetas floating, because then it means every single rotation, every time this guy is here, we've got Xeno Vegeta floating. So every time this guy's on rotation, the unit in slot 3 is always going to be a Vegeta, because it's either going to be the friend, my one, or the Xeno Vegeta, which means he's always going to have a Vegeta on rotation with him. And then by having the other rotation, like normally I wouldn't be running Pan and God Trunks as the other rotation. On the other rotation, you could run Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then that means for the 2 floating Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegetas, every time they float into a rotation, there's always a Goku on that rotation. So they're always giving that support part of their passive. So I'm quite liking that way of running the team, because I mean Gohan and Super Saiyan 3 Goku are the slot 1 units of the team, basically. But it just hurts Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because he needs to get hit 7 times to fully build up his passive. And as you've been able to see from multiple turns during this run, most of the attacks end up going in slot 1, and then Goku's left to get hit like once or twice in slot 2. So now he's fully built up. We're on turn 10. We're on the, what? There's 2 more Shadow Dragons after this one, and now he has his thing fully built up. So... now, one thing I do like to do, again, this is when I was using God Trunks back in the day, it kind of goes against what I was just saying about floating all the Vegetas, but once Xeno Vegeta is starting to fully build, because he's an infinite stacker, he now has 561k defense. So in a lot of events, he can now take over as the slot 1 unit, and we don't have to worry about the RNG from whether Pan is going to dodge or not. Of course, he will still take a lot of damage from a super, whereas Pan could potentially dodge. So I think what I'll do, I'll float her off just so we could see rotation with the Limit Breakers and then her, or at least with Goku. Because Goku's going to be fully built up. Yeah, see, we take double-digit damage. Now we're going to get another couple of stacks, or, well, another stack here. Potentially a couple if we get an additional. No additional. Is he going to get a super? No. I wonder how much God Trunks takes from a super here. But yeah, 7.8 million. Now, obviously, this is his best rotation with 2 40% support units. So, considering that he has no defensive tech, like, how much is this going to do? Will this kill us? Yeah, see, 470k. I think that is God Trunks' biggest problem, right? Is we talked about this with a few units in the past where... if a unit is doing a ton of damage but they don't have very good defense, I'm okay with that, right? The trade-off is there. But the problem is that the damage that God Trunks is doing here under the 200% lead is not enough to, like, qualify him having, you know, subpar defense. Like, if he's doing 10 plus million attack stats... although, to be fair, I guess I am being a bit unfair, because with him hitting that attack stat, but he also has the 50% chance to crit. And you have to remember that if you do crit, you're doing a lot of extra damage. Look at Goku. See, fully built up, Goku looks pretty good. 10.5 million. And post-super, his defense is really high. Plus the damage reduction. That's the word I'm looking for. So we'll see one last turn here with Trunks. See, Xeno Vegeta's up to 568k defense now without having Pan on the rotation to give that extra support. And because there's no Goku here, Vegeta in the final slot's not giving any support, the limit breaker. So we'll have this play out as the last turn. Hopefully Xeno Vegeta doesn't get killed here, although his defense is now well over 600k. So he should be alright. And then, yeah, 7 million for God Trunks. I mean, God Trunks looks okay, but I think he's more so like a damage dealer. I guess he would be a decent option for the team against Broly, just because he has that type advantage in the final phase. But here we're going to eat... What do we take from a type neutral super? Yeah, see, Nova hits a lot harder than the Int one. We took more damage from that than we took from a type disadvantage super on the turn before. So, I mean, God Trunks, he's able to put out some decent numbers, but... Yeah, I don't know. Even with the 200% lead, unfortunately, he's not exactly moved back up to being like a must-run unit on the team, which is unfortunate. So I guess we'll have to wait until 2024 to see what his Easy A brings. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.